How's it going, my vaqueros? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are ready for some more Tac Stance awesomeness because today we're going over the Tac Stance BP50. This is actually a super fun build and actually really good for those close to medium range engagements. Now, no, it's not a shotgun video, obviously, but there is a new patch coming soon for Season 2 Reloaded. I'm hoping there'll be some adjustments to the shotguns, maybe a fix for the binary trigger on the haymaker. We'll see what happens, maybe some buffs, but until then, I'm gonna go over this gun because this is a lot of fun and actually a pretty damn solid build, especially for you guys over in mouse and keyboard land. So first we'll talk about the damage and the time to kill and all that stuff first, then I'll show you guys the class itself, and then I'll talk about my overall thoughts on it. So if you want to hop to a specific part of the video, make sure to check the timestamps below. With all that being said, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So the BP50 is a pretty solid assault rifle overall, and it feels very good pretty much no matter what range you are, but one of the things that it's actually really good at excelling at is in that close to sort of medium range, because its time to kill is actually not half bad for an assault rifle. If you look, all credits to JGOD. This is from his close range meta video. I'll leave a link to that in the description below if you want to check it out. Solid video. But basically, the BP50 has a time to kill of roughly 630 milliseconds. Now, granted, there are faster SMGs and some ARs and other little guns that are faster than that, but this thing is pretty solid overall because it's very easy to use. It's got pretty decent mobility for an assault rifle, especially in Tac Stance. And again, that time to kill, because of its rate of fire, works out pretty damn well. So it's definitely a solid gun to try out, and the Tac Stance build for it is actually really solid because it has such a great spread and it's very easy to control. So this is the Tac Stance / mobility build that I was able to come up with. Now, as you can see, I'm rocking a short barrel, and that's to give us a little bit of some Tac Stance spread, actually quite a bit. Then we have the Verdant hook cylindrical laser. This one's good because it not only helps with our spreads, but also gives us a little bit more of a sprint to fire speed, which is great when you're going to be at close range using this thing. Then we have the Moat 40 stock. Now, there is another stock you could use, which is the Con 30 padded stock. The reason this one's good is because it gives you a ton of mobility overall, but the Moat 40 in particular also helps quite a bit with your recoil control while giving you also aim down sights movement speed and movement speed. It's not as fast as the Con 30, but it's a solid stock to use because it is going to help you land those medium range shots, and it's very handy. Then of course a 45 round mag and the CCG tac tape again is going to help with our Tac Stance spread as well as some sprint to fire speed while also hurting our recoil just a tiny bit. Now of course there's always those attachments like the Bruin Bastion angle grip you could use. If you want to use that instead of a stock, go for it. The reason I chose this was because it was a balanced build for mobility, for that aim down sights movement speed, also having a tight Tac Stance spread. And also, if you start to stack just a bunch of different Tac Stance attachments, you can only get so tight, and it doesn't really get any tighter, so it's better off going one attachment for mobility and then another one for Tac Stance, and you can kind of balance it out yourself. But generally, this spread you're going to get with this build is pretty much as tight as you're going to get within reason. Now, the key with this build that I found is to kind of play at that maybe 10 to 20 meter range engagement, because usually if you're a little bit closer than that, it's going to be a little bit harder for you at close range to compete with SMGs because this doesn't shoot as fast as some SMGs, so you tend to get a little bit deleted in some instances. Not all the time, it's totally still viable up close. It's just it sort of excels more past that 10 meter mark where SMGs start to drop off. This is kind of where this gun is going to have that little bit of an advantage. And of course, with all the attachments we have on it, you're going to have great mobility, especially with your strafe speed. This gun actually has some pretty nutty strafe speed for being an AR with this kind of damage profile. It's actually really damn good. So make sure when you're using this thing and you're using Tac Stance on it, make sure to kind of weave left and right a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to kind of spam your left thumbstick in a circle so you get that rotational aim assist. You're also a little bit harder for people to hit. It's just really important to strafe with this kind of build. Not only that, but the spread is solid. You're going to hit people at really far ranges. Even when you think it's a little too far, you use it and you're actually going to be surprised how good this thing can be at hitting people who are doing head glitches and all that kind of stuff. No, you're probably not going to kill them in all cases, and they'll probably kill you if they're head glitching, but it's just kind of impressive how this thing is so accurate sometimes at really ridiculous ranges with the spread that it has. As for my overall thoughts on this build, it's definitely a lot of fun, but it is a little bit harder to use than some other SMGs up close with the sort of Tac Stance builds that we're talking about. This one is definitely going to excel more past the 10 meter range, you know, in that sort of medium range. This thing will definitely melt some people. It's going to feel super good, and I'm not saying that it's a bad close range gun at all. No, in fact, it's great. As you saw from the time to kill, it's very competitive forgiving actually, and it's got the mobility to make up for it. It's just that some faster firing SMGs, they're going to be a little bit more forgiving, probably going to kill you a little bit quicker, just a slight bit, and there's just some guns that are a little bit easier and better up close, but this thing, do not sleep on it. It is very, very good, and most of all, it's really fun. And I know you mouse and keyboard players out there love Tac Stance builds. This is a great one. This assault rifle overall is super good, and this Tac Stance build is incredible, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. I know to all my shotgun friends out there, a shotgun video is coming. I just kind of wanted to break it up a little bit, and I know we're getting some changes, hopefully with Season 2 Reloaded. I hope there's some shotgun changes, so stay tuned for that. And of course, I will be making my next video as a shotgun video, so stay tuned for that. And as always, I want to know down below in the comments, what do you guys think of this build? Do you prefer using this thing in Tac Stance? Do you prefer just to completely aim down sights with it? And what other Tac Stance build should I check out? And with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.